All right, now I'm back. I don't know what the hell that was. Now, see, that's more like it.
Now you know I hate being late to class.
How was your day?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
What you sipping on? Gatorade?
Gatorade. Mhm.
Ah, no sippy sip tonight.
No, I haven't had a sippy sip in almost a week now.
Oh, okay,
Over a
that's
week.
fine. You getting ready to go to Greece in a couple of weeks. It's fine.
Yeah, man. Well, no, because I had been sick. I couldn't hold nothing down.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well,
You
I
got a
had got
bug?
it was a bug or something, but come to find out, they did the blood work and um, I did like a chest X-ray and everything yesterday. Wasn't sure what it was, but it was anemia.
Really?
hmm
So what are we gonna do for that? What did we
Uh,
learn?
so what did we learn? We learned that we need to keep. One, I had to go get me some liquid IV, and I had to get some iron in my life.
Yes, indeed.
So I just cooked a steak.
Do you
a
eat
steak.
do you eat calf liver?
What?
Calf liver. You can make it smothered liver and onions and brown gravy. You make it just like you do steak.
How about that?
Okay, and anti-way. And anti-way. I digress. How about some beets? Beet juice?
Luby's. Luby's liver. Yeah, I'm not eating. I'm not eating no
No,
liver.
okay. What
Liver
about
and
beet
onions.
what about beet
People
juice?
love that.
It's very
See,
good. Beet juice with some apples and
no, me and my wife, my mom was just talking about that, and I said, I'm not eating no beets. I just barely just started eating asparagus. And she go, I said, you know, now maybe if somebody make the beets and make it tasty, then I'll probably eat it. Until then, I don't trust myself. I'm not eating no beets.
do you like anything pickled?
No,
You
hell
like
no,
nothing pickled?
nothing pickled.
Okay, so that's the end of that. Um, what about
Yeah, that Luby's
blueberries?
blueberries.
Anything
I like
that's
blueberries.
dark. You need
Yeah,
to anything
yeah,
dark and leafy, spinach,
yeah.
collard greens,
Spinach.
mustard greens.
Yeah, those I like. I see like spinach has like 2.7 milligrams or megagrams or whatever that is for
Yes.
of iron. Asparagus had 2.1. Since I was cooking steak, I figured I'd do some asparagus instead. It actually turned out really good.
Okay. The skin on cucumbers.
I don't like cucumbers.
Oh God, you killing me right now.
Look,
Um,
cucumbers make me throw up. Like the smell of them make me throw up.
really?
Yes. Like
Zucchini.
I go get a salad. I can eat zucchini and squash.
Okay,
Um, Free. What's up? I am not picky. Well, somewhat.
you are
Whatever.
picky. You're picky.
Look.
Hey, I have a nutritionist that follows me, and she's
Mm-hmm.
also an herbalist.
Mm-hmm.
She puts stuff together for people, and she does really a great job. Can I hook the two of you guys up?
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
I ain't named 20 things I don't eat. It was just that was one thing that was just made in a different way.
You know something.
And actually, you know what? As I
Gotta
think
bring that
about it,
iron up, brother.
oh, I got to. I got to. Actually, as I think about it, I do eat liver and onions.
Liver and onions over with some brown
Yeah,
gravy
actually,
and
I had to think about it because I'm not the one to cook it, But you know what? I had to sit here and think about. I do actually eat liver and onion, and I did have it from Luby's because one of my old employees, that's all she would eat. She would always like, let's go to Luby's, let's go to Luby's, and she brought some. And you know what? Now,
The iron content in the organ is stronger than it is in the steak. It's more potent.
A Luann special. Well, let's go one day. That's it. Come on, Jazz. Let's go to Luby's. Let's go get a Luann special.
You so silly.
And give me a high five.
I'm done.
Look, I'm feeling so much better, man. I drank some of my liquid IV because I had my headache was just throbbing today. So I did that. I cooked that steak. I ate. So man, we chilling.
Did you drink
Sunshine,
water?
what's up? Yes, man. I've been drinking my water, but I gotta get some more electrolytes.
Okay.
Sunshine, where you at? Where you at, man? Where you at? My girl stay on the move, man. I try to be like her when I grow up.
That's something we all aspire to do. Be on the move.
I'm trying to be on the move.
A moving target don't get hit.
Man, I keep telling my wife, I go, man, we need one of these kids to go get a part-time job or a job at the airport or something.
They got a social security number.
I'm like, I need y'all to go get a job at the airport because it's how we like to stay on some planes. Shit.
That's a beautiful thing.
Man, I'm thinking about I applied, so it's so funny. I actually applied for a position at United. I haven't heard anything back yet, but it'd be funny if I hear something because I'm gonna be like, yeah, run it.
Which two of those are merging? Is it American and United, or is it American and Delta? Two of the airlines are merging.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I hope it's American in
Two of the major airlines are merging.
Oh, Jasmine said it won't go through. It was just talk.
Which one was it, Jasmine? Was it American and Delta, or was it American and United?
I have no idea.
Howdy, everybody.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
What's up?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, it was United and American. I thought I heard that on the news the other day.
What
Oh.
happened?
Oh, United and American, the airlines, the major airlines they were talking about merging. Thank you,
Oh,
Free.
yeah. That's gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be bad. I'm saying it from the standpoint of the flight attendants having to merge seniority. That's what I'm thinking about. There could be friction with that. That
Yeah.
never works well because Continental and Delta merge and they still fight with each other on a plane.
Really?
Not snakes on the plane.
Wasn't that like 100 years ago?
I know. And then we in Southwest, we acquired AirTran and they hate us, but they got the same
That's
seniority.
right.
They gave them seniority and equal pay, and they just they are hard to deal. It's like a mafia. It's hard to deal with them.
Wow. Because you with Southwest, right?
Yeah, I am with Southwest.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some great friends that do work for that did work for the other. Like I'm an original, so that's what we'll say. We'll say when we get on the plane, not to say it like that, but it's like, oh no, I'm an original. And the other ones, they would have wanted Delta to buy them if they had a choice. They didn't want us. They didn't feel like we were a real airline, but we're the highest paid in the industry.
Really?
We are, yeah.
Okay.
And we have a better quality of life over American Delta. They just look good in their uniforms, but employers don't care about them.
Dang.
Like, how do you think I was able to work 9 days last year? And we get free medical, dollar for dollar match on our 401k up to 9.8%.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sunshine, so that's my sister. That's your sister right there, Sunshine?
Yes, that's my sister, Sunshine. Yeah, I do like Southwest. I've been with them since 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my cousin worked for Southwest. He's been with Southwest now for this is about to be his second retirement, man. He's been on there for almost 20 years.
The crazy part is, it's such a great company, and people say we drink the Kool-Aid. They just treat us well. I mean, every airline has politics, of course, things that we don't like. But man, just the fact that my kids can keep medical to 26 and just the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nah, that's cool.
Does that
mhm.
apply for existing only for seniors, or is it only for the younger team that come in? Because sometimes the policies change
No.
as the
It's for
years go
everybody.
by.
No, that's our contract. Under our contract, when you
Okay.
start, we have a grandfather plan for as flight attendants. So when you come in, our grandfather plan is that we do get free medical. Now, if you want medical, you can pay for. You're more than welcome to get those other packages. There's other
Mhm.
we have options, but I like the fact that I think we get 20% off of buying stock options. So it's a good company to work for. I would say that.
Nah, that's cool. How tall are you, Andy?
5'4".
Okay,
Great
that's
things are 5'4". Such great things are 5'4".
I'm 5'4".
So
okay.
am I, darling. So am I.
Yes. Okay, my sister. But no, and the crazy part is, y'all, I got these degrees and I probably will never use them. I mean, I would like to, but I
Mhm.
like the flexibility of being a flight attendant. And can I ask y'all opinion? I need some advice.
What's up?
Sure.
Okay, y'all. And be honest with me. Okay, so here's the thing. I am currently working on my doctor's degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was offered, and I've turned it down 2 years in a row. I was offered an honorary doctor's degree. Now, if I accept the honorary doctor's degree, I'm not going to stop the degree I'm working on. I just feel bad about the negative, tone around honorary doctor's degree. And I understand the doctor's degree is for the work that you will put in, and the honorary is for the work that you have put in, right? Whether it's philanthropy,
Mm-hmm.
community service, things like that. But I feel like our community downs it so bad that it makes me not want to accept it.
Most of the
Man, I
people
was
that are
accepting
down it are the people that don't measure up. Don't you ever
right.
turn
Yeah,
that down.
man, take
Those
that.
who can't even doctorate degree, you're gonna turn. Girl, if you don't, I'm gonna get off this panel and beat your butt. You better take
So
that thing.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
have to turn it down. And what I did not know is these honorary doctor's degree are not free. So let's start there. So that's
okay.
one. They are not free. You do have to pay a portion for it. It's not a lot, but you do have to pay for it. But I'm gonna walk with the degree that I'm currently working on in 2028. And if I accept this
Yeah.
honorary doctor's degree, I will walk this August with it. And
Yeah. Take it.
and
One day
another
be
thing.
Dr. Andy.
Listen, with the honorary, I would never require that. But what I will say is that sometimes I feel really bad because I am the first to do things, right? And I feel bad, or like I feel incompetent or stupid. I hate to say it like that, I do, because there's some things I don't know, right? So like I was looking up how much my regalia is going to cost for a doctorate. Like I paid for the other ones, right? They were like $200 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue that doctoral regalia is like $1,300 to $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Okay.
it's like, pardon?
Okay.
I mean, I get it. I could pay. I mean, I pay for it, but it's just like sometimes I feel inadequate because it's like, damn, there was nobody to tell me before doing this stuff. Like the pathway, and so
Andy.
sometimes, yeah,
Andy,
yes,
Right.
stop minimizing your worth
Stop.
and your value.
Right.
You
Yeah.
deserve anything and everything that you could
Yeah.
possibly ascertain under your name. Baby,
Yeah.
grab for it. Every ring that comes for you, grab
Man,
it, sweetie.
yeah.
Like
Grab
Free
it.
Say, go ahead and be the first.
Be that
Okay,
first.
yeah.
Be that
Yeah.
trendsetter. Come on.
I am.
Nita, what's up?
I'm going to do it, but I just think it was just one of those things that I didn't have any knowledge of, and sometimes I felt bad because I didn't have the knowledge of, and then when when I realized people are getting doctoral degrees with only 30 credit hours from certain universities, I felt like we've been bamboozled because I'm thinking people got to do this strenuous,
Mm-mm.
time. And
No, look, I wasn't. So I started my right before I had moved to Houston. I had started my to do my doctorate, and I stopped because I just had so much other stuff going on. But I wasn't going to do a PhD. I was just actually going to do a DBA. Just for and that still would have been my doctorate. Still would have been calling me Dr. Marlon. But I wasn't. I personally was like, I'd rather do these 2.5 years than to do potentially 5.
Oh, yeah. And here's the
You
thing,
know.
I'm at Liberty University, and so they had a strategic leadership program for 51 credit hours. And I've met some people in a religious aspect that have doctoral degrees under religious degrees or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And they're like
Theology.
30,
Mm-hmm.
30 credit hours, 45 credit hours. And I'm like, all this time I'm thinking you gotta spend 4 or 5 years doing that stuff,
Yeah.
and people are getting it. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
learning.
Man, look, if you get honorary, go for it. Yeah, Keita, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. Getting my iron up. That's what it was, anemia.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So yeah, thank y'all for the advice. Sometimes you meet people and they like, oh no. And then
yeah.
after I accomplish this, there's only one more thing I want to. I might have a chance now to be an AKA since Trick Daddy done showed up. So I'm a little rough around the edges, so I might have a chance. Shoot.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, man. Go for it. Go for it. You know? Whatever
Yeah.
you feel like you need to do for you. It's all about you. Let's see.
What's
We
the
got
topic?
about, huh?
What's the topic?
Stop. The topic for tonight is stop blaming. Stop blaming the other gender. Fix yourself.
Oh,
Why you saying? Mm?
because it's hard, right? I would never blame anybody, but I look at it like, actually yesterday made 10 years that my husband's been gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deceased. And I think about dating, and the woman I was married, I wasn't, I was still attaining and growing and learning, right? And when he passed
Mm-hmm.
away, I learned about all my flaws and all the mistakes that I made, right? So I did the work.
Right.
Now, what I'm running into is that now I'm meeting men that I may potentially have to, I'm going to stick beside them. That's what I'm meeting.
Oh,
Them type of, you know what I'm
them type of
saying?
cats.
Yeah, so it's hard. So it makes me to the point where it's like, I have to stop dating. I don't blame them. I just know that I can't be with them because there's certain things that they need to do within their own life.
Yeah.
So it ends up making dating, harder because I have to exit because of the things that they need to work on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't blame them. I just, we just
No, I
can't
got you.
coexist. Yeah.
Well, Keita, I hope you start feeling better because, yeah, that was me last night.
Well,
Let's see.
listen, no,
What is
Huh?
going around?
beside them. It was just a joke. I just was saying that's what I have been coming across. So outside of the married men that are the most single men that hit on me, and the what is it? And the men that are still trying in life, I tend to just meet men that need a little help, like,
Mm.
and so I don't know
Yeah.
nobody that don't need help. I mean, I need help, but I have the necessities of life taken care of.
No, I got you. I got you. Yeah, no. Look, that's that thing where we always talk about being whole before you start trying to be with somebody else. When two whole people get together, then you straight. Let's see. Hey, Rachel Love, what's good? What's good? Let's see. Sunshine saying, my issues. I don't be sticking beside him. Sunshine. Quit playing. Don't stick beside that man.
But then you get made fun of because I'm not perfect. So I would say that I'm not perfect, but I definitely I have met some men that'll be like, I don't think you in the wrong field. You need to be working on yourself.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Some
it
men are
depends.
just like Humpty Dumpty, baby. They're broken. They can't. They just can't. There's some people. Let me just rephrase that. There are some people that are just so broken they can't put themselves back together again.
And it be their own fault because they don't listen. I kid y'all not. I have a friend a guy who ended up liking me, but we ended up becoming friends. And I had told him for years about how to get service connected, but he would not listen to me because I was a woman. That's what it seemed like. He never said it, but that's how it came across. It took this man 8 years to get service connected when I could have did it for him in 6 months. Like the advice I was giving to him. And so I tend to run into men who don't want to take the advice. Like I listen and but I'm like, I'm trying to help you help your life, sir. So
Right.
A hard head make a soft what?
mhm.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so what do you mean fix? So if that's not my issue, like I don't blame people. Like I worked on me, but what you mean blaming
So,
somebody?
well, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Where I was looking at something, and it was like everybody, and it wasn't just men; it was women and men, and they were both just like, well, it was her fault, and the other guy or girl was like, it was his fault, and this is what they kept going back and forth, but nobody was taking that accountability and saying, you know what? You're blaming all these other people, but you're not even looking at yourself. Fix yourself, and then you will stop attracting them type of people. Because you can't get mad because somebody is doing something, but you're the one putting it out there. You're putting certain things out there that's attracting those type of people, but then they go and try to blame those people for trying to talk to them.
But
And I'm just like,
I think that comes with having hard boundaries. So when I look at it, I look at it as sometimes your broken you will entertain things that you know you shouldn't, right? And
yeah,
so then you get upset and want to blame like if they would just be different. And that's not the case. The case is typically the person, you yourself are broken and you're
mm-hmm,
entertaining foolishness, but you want to blame other people. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you will attract that. And y'all, I took y'all advice when we had that meeting the last time.
uh-huh,
Um, and just went cold turkey, would not, didn't even give an explanation and stopped talking. And I think it's tougher for him because it wasn't, it was
yeah,
like you said, it was a prey victim situation, but it's tougher for him. But I personally I feel like this is what needs to be done so I can move ahead. So if I would have entertained him, it would have blocked things that need to happen.
and how did it make you feel?
You know what? It made me feel like it was a new chapter, meaning like I I trust in God enough to say I believe in him, but I was holding on unknowingly to what was safe.
Yeah,
That
good,
means our
good,
work is done here, folks. Our work is
yep.
done.
Our work is
So,
done.
I just found as busy as I am, understanding what loneliness is, or not to say it like that, but sometimes we do compromise our morals, ethics, and character when you are lonely. And although I wasn't doing anything wrong, I at that point when you all made the evaluation, it was like I was
Yeah,
compromising it.
yeah. She
And
keep
you
up
got
with the
greatness
man.
ahead of you. You got so much greatness ahead of you. You don't need to
Yeah,
focus on that
sure,
other stuff.
sure. All right. Well,
What is the topic this evening, Big Brother Bear?
you missed all of that. You were gone.
It was called
So
blaming other people. We was
stop. Nah,
Oh,
stop blaming the other gender. Fix yourself.
well, I'm the poster child.
So, I go to my little notes that I got. So,
But of course.
blaming the other gender is easy. Self-reflection is hard. But growth only happens when accountability replaces excuses. That's how we start this thing. I know, right? I don't never started easy.
But what do you do when you've done the work? I don't think I can really identify with this topic tonight because I I'm in a place in life where I've done the work, and so I am not the problem.
See, and that's the thing.
I just may not be for you, and that's okay.
Right. And that's where I'm going, right? But every type of relationship always deals with two people. Everybody it has some type of part of anything that goes on in a relationship. This is why I say it. I say that because the number one thing is people will only do what you allow them to do. So if something doesn't work, but it's and you're upset by things that go on in a relationship, but if you're allowing those things to go on, then guess what? You have to take ownership that I'm allowing this to happen. They're doing stuff because I'm letting them do stuff.
Mhm.
That's where the accountability part comes into play. It's no relationship ends for one person doing something. It's always going to be both people.
Definitely agree.
It's always going to be both people because people only do what you allow them to do. And I'm not saying that. Like, for example, somebody that unfortunately could be in an abusive relationship, right? They have to take ownership in that as well. This person is doing it because you're letting them do it. You have an option, you have a choice to not let them do it. But if you operate in, let's just say in this particular example, if you operate in fear, then you're telling this person, oh, it's okay, I ain't going nowhere, I'm gonna let you keep doing this. But the only way it's gonna change if you make the change.
Well, first of all, when it comes down to that, that's a psychological aspect when people have to be ready to let things go. With the abuse aspect. But I also think when it's not so traumatic, you both do share a part in it because you've allowed things that you would have never let slide, with things in life. But I think it's, like I said, the broken part of you that's accepting it. Like you said, instead of having better, I don't deserve this, the broken part of you, that part needs to be fixed.
So, let's see. Free said, not everybody can get away like that. Well, I hear what you're saying, right? Not everybody can get using that particular example. I still think everybody can still get away. There's a will, there's a way. There has to be the will to get away.
I think when it's abuse, right, it's a psychological aspect. So I think it's a lot that needs to happen with that. So I understand what the young lady is saying, but it is a mental chain that you have. So I understand until that is.
Oh yeah, I understand.
But for the average person who is,
no, I completely understand.
But for the average person that's dating somebody that may allow cheating or that may allow so putting up with things that they don't like just to keep somebody around, I think you have a part to play in it because you don't like it, that part. So
facts. Let's see. Cheeky said, you can lose your will if there's abuse. You can. You end up settling. Even if you settle, guess what? That's still your choice to do that. It's still a choice. That's what I'm highlighting the most is everything at the end of the day still is a choice. And we have to stop letting people take away our power of choice. We gotta operate in the capacity of, you know what? I recognize this, even if I don't, and another part that we really have to do, we have to make sure we start having people in our circle that is going to have our best interests at mind. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we tend to keep people in our circle that shouldn't even be in the circle. You need to be outside the circle, because you're not telling me the truth when I need to hear the truth. You're just going along with something because you could be benefiting from something, how it's going. We gotta watch the people that we call our friends and whatnot when we're in all these type of situations and situationships and all of this stuff.
I'll give you an example. Like I noticed that sometimes, okay, so now that we're speaking about friendship, I've been in situations with friendships where, man, I thought I could put up with you being around me, and now that I see that the way that you act or some of your behaviors, if I here's how I am operating in life now. If I have to talk about you when I get off the phone in a negative way, I don't need to be around you. So anytime I feel like I have to have something negative to say about you or pick up the phone and have a conversation, because I don't, we will no longer be friends. Because I think that's unhealthy. I think we are an adult. We are adults, and if you are living your life a said way, and that's how you like it, fine. I don't have to be okay with it, but it becomes irritating when you know that it is toxic, and you're like, dang, this is off. So for me, for men and women, now that I've learned, I'm just like, if I got to talk negative about you when we get off the phone, I'm not your friend. I'm gonna excuse myself.
Absolutely. So here, that's just joining us, what, 100. Nice topic, as I again in the comment, to be stop other fixtures. He said you can't right. The blame game is it's comfortable because it feels safe to say what men ain't this or women always that. Do that because when you do that, you can. It's easy to avoid the accountability. Uh, it protects your ego, um, and it keeps you from putting in the work. Appreciate the gifts.
But I
You
think
know,
when you grow,
it keeps you from putting in the work and stuff.
but I think when you grow, you don't generalize like that. When you've done the work on self, you don't generalize. Well, men are men is this, women is that. You just know that there's exceptions to the rules. I don't think at this
Hmm.
point in life I ever generalize somebody. I think I'm from the show me state. When you show me who you are, I believe it the first time. I don't say I
Yeah.
expected this. That's crazy at 43.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, um, it's like if every relationship you've had failed, right? This is something I was talking to somebody and I said, think about things in this light. If every relationship you had failed at some point, you got to ask, what role did I play in that? I get they're gonna always there are people you're gonna have failed relationships. That's not what I'm harping on. I'm harping on the part of what role did I play in that failed relationship?
Accepted the bad behavior by staying around. I think a lot of times we stay in friendships or whether it's a relationship with the okay, long as it don't happen again. Like we give too much grace.
Mm,
So
yeah.
sometimes you don't need to give grace for things. Like I hate to say it, like if we're gonna be honest about how life's set up, if that is a pattern, that is a trend, that is a behavior of said person, right?
Hmm.
And so we're in our mind trying to turn the other cheek. Do you know turning the other cheek and getting slapped on and hurt just as much as being lied to is the same type of hurt?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's true.
then now, when it is a proven fact, then I'm just like, you know what? I've seen this before. I can't stay around for this. And then that's on you. But you cannot fix your lips to talk bad about somebody because it didn't work out. You shouldn't because you stayed for it.
And that's the accountability part. Absolutely. Um, Number two. Here's the second part. Um, Social media made it worse. Like right now, every time you turn on social media, which is half of the reason why I wanted to do this topic, is because um, gender wars are what's trending. That's what that's what the gender wars are right now. They're all saying all men cheat. That's the one they're always saying. All women are gold diggers. That's all I see so much, right? And because there are so many different algorithms, when you start seeing all of these particular things, that's all you're going to end up seeing, right? I'm very good, me personally, very good about changing my algorithm all the time. You know, my everything I look at now, I might see some stuff like that, but the majority of stuff I see on mine is talking about autism, because that's what I'm trying to gain more knowledge on. So I'm seeing everything about autism right now. And I think if we go down a rabbit hole with certain things, it begins to program us on negative things, right? So that's why I caution people, like, be careful what you always looking for, because then you're going to start to believe it. Because now, because of social media, people are now building their mindset off of the viral pain instead of personal healing. It's like, oh well, so this person I don't even know, this is their pain, so now I need to feel the same way. You start to put yourself in that situation.
But
It's amazing how much we create.
no, let's be honest. When we look at this, I think it takes a set of eyes, a certain set of eyes, to see social media for what it is, right? And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people are walking around here with reprobate minds. And so when you get past that, half the men that are on social media that are hosting these platforms have a prison vernacular, meaning they have served, right? You can catch the prison vernacular, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
have people who are in halfway transitioning homes, have nothing else to do, get on here and feel like they can tell you something. And then you have the brother that has gotten with the woman that allows him to wallow in his mess. Like, when you can decipher, like, listen to people talk and it'll come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know how many men that I've kind of, like, when you're scrolling and you like, oh, you just got released from prison, or you like, you just on here, like, we give microphones to anybody. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
don't, like, I'm somebody, I suck at this. Like, granted, I enjoy your live, but I be wanting context about your circumference, because I need to understand who you are and why you're making this. And when the person say, yeah, I did time and I did this, I'd be like, oh, okay. So or when men are having discussions about women, I'm like, okay, well, what is your religion? And then most of the time they're like, I'm Muslim, or I'm a 5%er, or I'm a gospel Q dog. I'll be like, okay, it makes sense. So now I can't have a conversation with you because I'm not trying to change your mind. You believe what you believe. So I think social media is the wrong place for me. Like, that's why there's only certain panels that I get on, because I
Mm-hmm.
need context.
Okay, I got you. I understand that. Um, but again, that does go both ways. It does go both. Um, it does go both ways. You know. Again, men and women. Let's see. Cheeky says she have to disagree about, like, Islam. Um, I don't.
I don't
Uh,
disagree with it. People are entitled to have their own opinion. I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus, divine say Christ. But I also know, when we learn to mind our business, when we get to heaven, God ain't gonna ask you about nobody else's sin. He gonna ask you about yours. So when you mind your business, you learn differently. You
hmm,
know.
I got you. I got you. Um, Number three, the mirror conversation. This is now we're talking about the accountability. Chocolate, you still there? You good? Did we lose chocolate?
Listening. Maybe she's just listening. Chocolate.
I think she might have froze.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's the accountability?
So the mirror conversation, accountability, right? Um, Mika, what's up? You got to ask yourself these questions, right? When you're talking about the mirror conversation, are you emotionally available? Do you communicate clearly? Are you healed from your past, like you was talking about earlier about being healed? Do you bring peace or problems?
I would
Saying
say
something like that last night.
I would say
You
that
know,
I believe I am pursued, right? And I'm such a nice person. I am pursued and I know exactly what I want, right? And I understand sometimes even though I'm being pursued, um sometimes these men could be in other places, right? And I
hmm
desire to date within my own, like I desire to date within my own city, right? Because I know that I want to date to get to know someone, and sometimes it's hard when you're being pursued. So then I look like a bad person for bad communication because I already know how I'm set up. So then I probably suck. Then that person will be like, "Oh, you suck at communication." And it isn't that, it's just that I kind of know that I have a difficult time with long distance things.
I got you. Well, I mean, and that's the part. That's your truth. You know what I mean? Like you know what you can and cannot deal with, and long as that's verbalized and said, "Hey, look, this is what it is. I'm not the person for that." Cool. You know, Mika says she brings peace. I like that. Mika says she brings peace. Um,
What was
you
the other
know,
one?
what's that?
What were the other ones?
Are you emotionally available? Are you healed from your past? Do you communicate clearly, and do you bring peace or problems?
Give me an example of emotionally availability.
Emotional availability is basically an example of that is you could be going through something at work. You're trying to figure out some things, and it's really bothering you and it's bringing you down. Do you have? Will that person allow you to verbalize what is going on with you and not use it against you? Um, Also, another part of emotional availability is that you are in the capacity to be able to be that ear or that you know shoulder for someone to lean on. All of that is part of an emotional availability. Let's saying that you have dealt with your own emotions. You said, hey, you know what, I am in the capacity where I can be there for you if you need me, for the emotional required in your life. I can be there for you emotionally. Like if you can feel safe with me. You can be safe in all aspects. You can be safe with when you tell me something, I'm not going to judge you. You can be safe when that I'm going to have your best interest in mind. That's emotional availability, in my opinion.
No, I understand. I wanted more context on how you would deliver it. I just believe that um I think when you are pursuing somebody or you're in a relationship, that should be a given, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then that should always be a given. But it does happen to be that I think what I sometimes I'm so resourceful. It looks like it's a strength that is presented, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to lay my strength down sometimes because that's how I am. but I'm learning in this season to just not present as strong to do certain things, because then sometimes you aren't given a space to not be strong. It's just it's an expectation.
I got
So
you.
I'm learning to I'm learning vulnerability.
And that's that's key. Busy. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Um, another part, Andy, of emotional availability is just it's a willingness. It's that willingness to be open to somebody and present and be responsive to, you know, whatever their emotions that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? Being able to when they express some stuff, you being able to handle it and connect with that person, you know, that's emotional availability.
So what do you
Just
do
to
if
kind of
someone doesn't have that to be able to express themselves? Like, how then, as a woman, do I deal with them? Because men, do things differently. So then, as a woman,
Mhm.
how would I deal with a man? He's not nasty, you get what I'm saying, but he's also not a man of few words, right? So it's almost like, it's to me, it seems like you have to cultivate an atmosphere for that. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they're ready.
and you just said it. You gotta create that space. If you want someone to be if you want someone to see you as being emotionally available, you have to create a space for them to be emotional to you. And that's vice versa. You
Yeah.
have to create that. You just like you said, you have to create a space for that, because if a person does not feel like I can come to you and lay it all out on the line because you haven't created that space for that, then they're never going to come in. They're never going to do that. They'll
No,
never
but what if that's
communicate with
just
you about
their
certain things.
no, but what if that's just their demeanor? Meaning, like, some men are just like, they're not emotional, right?
Hmm.
And if there's like, hey, I'm curating a space, like, I want you to know I'm here for, like, I'm not saying it, but like, if I have a place that this is how I am, I'm your soft spot, I give you vulnerability, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But you just knowing that the person isn't talkative, this is not their demeanor, then how do you deal with that?
You know what? I'm gonna let you in on a secret, right? Most men are very emotional. Majority of men are actually very emotional. We are. We are very emotional to the right person.
Okay.
We have to know that we can be that. Like if if I know that you're always going to chew my head off about something, I'm not going to talk to you about certain things. But I might have this other person that just happens to be a female, nothing going on, but I might go and talk to this person because they're not going to chew my head off. They're going to allow me to be right open and get this off of my head and process it, because I can't do that with you because you're just going to bite my head off and you're going to judge me. Most men want an emotionally available woman because men are emotional as well. And that's
And
in my opinion.
And
Busy. I got
contrary to
busy up
personal to
here.
belief, I'm sorry, contrary to popular belief, their hurt and their pain runs a lot deeper than ours.
Yes.
It runs a
Yes,
lot
it
deeper.
does.
We get over stuff before they do.
Hmm.
It's because of the rarity and it because of the space for vulnerability that when that man finds someone that he can rest his head on her lap and expose his softer side, they're not going to give that to everybody. They're not going to give it to anybody. That's why emotional cheating hurts a lot more than physical cheating. Because he's not
Yep.
going to give that side of himself to anybody. That's
Nope.
that precious part of a male that if you get that from a guy, if a man ever gives that part of himself to you, man, you better treat that man right. Because if you do him wrong, you will crush him.
Well, here's the thing, right? So when you meet people, all right, like I've had a friend for years. And because life has not been fair to him, he'll say things like, I'm a man of few words because I don't want to be let down because of life has happened. And I've never did anything to him. I've always been, like in his corner as a friend. But because he's so used to life beating him up, that he's just learned to like celebrate at the end when it finally comes. That's what I've learned. Like he doesn't maturely celebrate things before he has the exact, okay, it's time for me to celebrate, And I'm like, well, no, it's here. You can celebrate. And he's like, oh no, not yet. And I'm like, man, so it's just like it's unfortunate because like we, kind of keep in touch, but I've noticed that about him as a friend. Like we live states apart, but I'm like, dang, like you won't, man, life has crushed you or beat you up to where you can't even celebrate certain things. Like he's like, I just won't, not yet. And I'm like, all right.
In time, he will. But again, he has to see. We give the softer side faster than men do. We give the softer side, right? And it's expected. It's expected to give the softer side, right? So that's what draws them to us because, it's like, men feel like they have to fix things. They have to repair things. They have to be that leader, that shoulder, that strong backbone for us, right? But when a man gets into his soft, I don't want to say weak because I hate that word. When a man gets into his softer side, his vulnerable side, again, he's not going to expose that to anybody and everybody. You got to be something really special in you. You have to have created a safe space for him to give that part to you. You can offer it. Any woman can offer it, but he's going to choose where he's safe. He has to be safe.
Right. So it was funny because I would hear him talk and I was just like, dang, we've been friends forever and you've always talked like this, like he's been hurt in life, right? And like it was something I said, just I didn't know he considered me. Like not as dating, like I didn't think like he thought about the overall picture of my life. And he said something like, oh yeah, I consider you, something along the lines of, that's always been at the top of my mind about your son or something like that. And I thought that was really nice, because I was just like, dang, he didn't have to consider my son, you know what I'm saying? In certain things. And I didn't know that's what he was thinking. Like, oh yeah, like that was already in my, that said something like that. Like that was already in my mind. And it had just kind of went over my head. Like I'm like, the whole time we've been talking, I never thought he considered my son.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a question, Marlon, and this is for the ladies. I will say this: I have been ridiculed when I say that I'm in my soft life era. They tell me that that's for females. So help me out.
No,
No,
as a
that's
mature woman, you're not. It's
yeah.
nothing to ridicule you over.
No, not at all, bro. Because I mean, when us as men, you know what I'm saying, we have always been seen as being so hard
Yes.
to where when a woman, decides that, oh, you just so you're always so hard, so hard, so hard, but it takes that right woman that can be soft around, and then recognizing that I'm tired of being hard. Nah, bro, that ain't, look, if somebody ridiculing that, man, forget them, because I know I have my soft era now, because with my wife, when I'm just like I wasn't feeling good, man, I was like a big baby in there, and she was right there taking care of me. I'm soft. I don't care. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. And
It,
and
and
I,
it's,
I, I
it's
get
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I guess that plays, into would that be would that be the female having emotional availability, recognizing that, or no? Are they just two different things?
You have to be emotionally strong as a woman to receive that from your man. You
Okay.
have to be able to hold that because that's his sacred place. And you have to acknowledge that he has given you that privilege to expose that part of himself to you. And a lot of women don't see it like that. They don't see where it's actually a privilege. They don't see where it's like, oh my goodness, he trusts me enough to give that
Mm,
part of himself to me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's like the biggest gift a man could ever give you. It supersedes any house he could buy you. It supersedes any car he could buy you. He has trusted you with his whole heart.
Okay.
okay.
I think in that moment when you're receiving the backlash that you're receiving for what you said, a lot of times women are thinking about me, me. Those type of women are like, what about me, 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 me? They're not thinking about you. And like, Chocolate said, a woman
There you go,
understands.
caller.
Pardon?
No, I was welcoming somebody. Go ahead.
Oh, and a woman that is, understanding, or emotionally available will understand that, you need to decompress. Like with me, prime example, with me being a mom, I understand my son comes in and he needs a break. Sometimes when I come in from work, I need a break. So if I need a break, I understand my child needs a break. So to think that what I'm feeling or what I need another person doesn't need is crazy. So for me, I understand that's a woman that's selfish and that will sabotage because then it becomes a competition, right? But honestly, I feel like men are entitled to because the world is heavy. And I think my motto is once you get behind closed, I know in the world you have to present a certain way, but once you get behind closed doors, I am your safe place. I am your soft spot. You are able to let go. You don't have to be the person you are on the outside in this home. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to put on another mask.
Yep.
Appreciate
Yep.
that.
And like Free said, and you should be mine too. Right.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
it's that balance. You know what I mean? It's definitely a balance. Um, let's not forget because I leave the house too. For sure. All right. Got the
I'm not
caller in here.
discrediting that. I know as black women, we show up very strong, right? I'm just saying, here's why I'm saying it, right? I'm saying it the way that I'm saying because it's not to take away from black women. We understand that a space will be presented for us. Sometimes men will allow us to cry on their shoulders and things like that. What I'm saying is I'm sick of seeing stories. Like I had a prime example, a really good friend of mine. She was my son's Mima when lady in the neighborhood that babysat, right? And she babysat a lot of the soldiers' children or whatever. And a parent Navy sailor dropped their child off at her house, dropped them kids off, kissed them, talked to her, and drove around the corner and sat in his car and unalived himself. Right? So for me, that's a cry for help in society that men are not
Mm-hmm.
getting a place to be what they need to be. So for me, I'm seeing that firsthand or seeing how men who may have prime example, seeing how men who may have they have a baby mama and the baby mama is hell, right? And the child is being weaponized and it still hurts men, right? And watching men cry or seeing stuff like that firsthand because they're trying to be a good dad, not saying that other things may not have taken place or whatever, but I think watching that happen, to see it, causes me to have a little bit more grace to see that people are actually unaliving themselves.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I seen something like that today as well. Um, it was it was a politician or something did that today. It was he did it to his wife and then did himself, and I was just like,
It
man,
wasn't Swalwell, was it?
it was what was the guy name? He was in Virginia, something Fairfax, Justin Fairfax.
Mm.
Mm.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
the guy that killed his wife?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. I was just like, okay, it's just amazing what people going through things, right, and not having and I'm not saying that I don't know what their
Yeah.
dynamics was like, but it makes me wonder, was it a safe space? Was there you know emotional availability available to people? You know what I'm saying? Or was it just, oh well, get over it, deal with it? What was that space like? You know what I'm saying?
I, I think sometimes, Marlon, pressure bursts pipes.
Yeah.
And I think the more pressure we put on men as women, we put a lot of pressure on men. We really do. We want them to go out there and, hunt the meat, bring the meat home, build the hut, raise the family. We sometimes we don't see them as human. We see them as superhuman. And everybody has a breaking point, whether you're male or female. When a lot of pressure's put on you, day to day, day after day,
Yeah.
in the world, at home, and you just can't get a break. You go in the world, you go home, and where is the space for you to actually decompress?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at it like this. For instance, I remember being in a situation with my son where I could see that he was overstimulated from the way he was crying. And if I would have stayed on 10 with him, he would have stayed there. One of us had to bow to what was going on, right? So I could have been like, you did this, this, and this, and kept going. But that wasn't solving the problem. And when I realized he had jumped outside of himself because he was so frantic that he couldn't think straight. And I will say this, when we go and have surgery, one thing that the doctor says, do not make any decisions on the pain meds that you are on, because you're not in your right mind, right?
Right.
So I feel like emotional pain is just as much. You do not make any decisions when you are in pain, whether it's an emotional hurt, pain meds, or whatever, when you're on anything that's altering the chemical because you're not thinking straight. You absolutely do not make decisions. You revisit it. You come back to it.
Mhm.
So
No, that's actually a really good example that you used there. And it's so often we don't make the right decisions because of what the moment is. So, and it's may not be on some type of medication at that moment, but you're on something that has triggered something, right? And pulling and being able to recognize that, by you saying that's a huge step forward. That's a huge step forward.
oh yeah, but sometimes you have to revisit it. Like when you are in a heated discussion, you are not yourself. When you
Yeah.
are hurting because somebody has done something to you, you are not yourself. You are not thinking clearly. So a lot of times I know women and men may hate to hear this, but I'm like, let me get back to you when I can get myself together, because this is not going to come out the way I need it to. Like
Right.
I'm one of those people. Like, let me revisit this.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And there's nothing wrong with self-isolating. I think that's the reason why I choose to self-isolate. Because I know if as many men come at me, and I think like 5 of them came at me today alone, and it's not to be braggadocious or anything, but it's just that, and I said to them, I thank you, but I can't, because I would not be the person that you need. I would emotionally, I would destroy somebody right now, being the person that I am today, and the way that I feel about relationships and love and intermingling. I would really hurt somebody, and that is not my intention. But because I have this that I have to cleanse myself of, I wouldn't be good for anybody. I would not. And it's better for me to just stay away and reinvent and regroup with myself. I'm trying to be emotionally mature, so forgive me.
Oh no, you're good. I think he froze. He froze.
Marlon, are you there? He did. He froze. He probably got a call or something.
Oh. Well, no, I understand exactly what you're saying, but I do feel like
your part.
Marlon, you got your Bluetooth on? Remember the last time you had your Bluetooth on, you would freeze because you're freezing intermittently.
I noticed it earlier.
He froze again.
Yeah. He may have to get out.
Hello.
Okay.
Marlon, do you have your Bluetooth on?
No.
Do you have another
Can you
device
guys hear
on?
me?
Yeah, you were freezing intermittently. Oh. Where'd you go? Come
that
back,
better?
little Sheba. Yes, you're here. Okay, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something going on. That was weird. I think it was my Wi-Fi went down. But no, I was saying, Trico. Yeah, I definitely hear where you're at. That's that mirror that you're looking in, and you're holding yourself accountable. And the first part of that accountability is telling the truth. Like, hey, man, I ain't the one for you. I will crush you right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Like a
that's
whole
real.
walnut.
Yeah,
No.
like a whole walnut right now. Number 4.
Go.
Trauma isn't an excuse forever. Yes, people have been hurt. Okay. Yes, trust issues are something that's real, but explains your behavior, but it doesn't excuse it forever. In my opinion,
It doesn't
your
excuse it at
behavior,
all.
and when I say behavior is not always a bad thing. Okay, let me clarify that. Behavior isn't always something that's bad. A behavior is a choice in saying, hey, I'm not going to do certain things because right now certain things are triggering to me. I'm not going to be in this forever, so you can't use that as an excuse, but you have to say, you know what, I recognize that, but I'm not going to let that trauma be present and control my whole life moving forward. Real Queen, welcome in.
But no trauma is an excuse to start out with treating anybody badly, because you don't get to dump on me no matter what. And I say that being somebody who has gone through everything in life that you could possibly imagine. And so I don't get to show up and bleed on you. So when I meet people that are bleeding, I exit stage left, because there's an absolute, if I can go through war, all the things that I've been through in life, foster care, no parents, last of the living of my immediate family, and I can show up and treat people with dignity, respect, and grace. I don't give passes for that, because I've been through more than enough. I think you need to learn how to either be quiet, govern yourself accordingly, or exit. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree with that. You can't past trauma. Yeah, you can't use that as a crutch going forward. In your life, because I mean, plainly put, right from wrong. And like she said, yeah, don't dump your past on me.
Because what if I showed up like, oh my gosh, because so and so did this in '94, this reminds me of you, and it triggers something. No, that means I need to work on this. And so I despise when people are like that. I remember I took a meeting with a young lady like that for some business, and she started bleeding, and I was like, oh, I see why you're not going further. I see why things aren't going the way that it needs to. That burns me so much. That makes me more angry than anything.
And I think it's one of the things where they recognize it. So it's where, you need to heal yourself first.
No, but people accept the bad behavior. Like I've told some people before, I was like, the stuff that you do in that small town works in that small town, and this is why you will never leave.
Yeah.
That's why that works there, and you are stuck there. The moment you take people out of this their area, their circumference with that behavior and put them somewhere else, they're sheep. They're cowards.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hmm. Yeah, I dig that. I dig that. Um, Trauma is that thing that just, I think trauma is probably one of the things that lurks the most with most of us. You know, past, present, trauma sticks with us. It's the littlest thing sometimes. And I think that's one of those things that it's the easiest thing to hold on to, to make an excuse. We can use that to just say, oh, okay, well, this is the reason why. But to your point, Andy, of your story is nobody knows what you have gone through, and you recognize it, and you don't even use it as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? That's growth, that's healing, that's powerful. You know, and your story is how a lot of people can move past things because they can see. A lot of times people hold on to because they can't see the other side of it. They can't see that, oh, I can flourish, I can thrive. I don't have to let this be something I hold on to.
I mean, when I look at it, I think about the fact that so much has happened. I had to pick a number, honestly, right? And so when I learned that I could not wear this as a badge of honor, the trauma, then, not even that. I just was never angry about it. When you realize every situation has an answer for it, right? Um, and like I said, it comes from counseling. It comes from understanding not only my education, but just even within the counseling that I did, like understanding that what addiction is to certain people, understanding what
Hmm.
life is. Once I developed that, there was no way for me to carry, well, my parents did this and this is how I was, right? And I despise when people say that, because now you have a chance to make life right for yourself. You do not have to be a product of your environment. You do not have to be the stigma of what has happened. I am not a stigma of what is it? I am not the what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? What it would be to be somebody who aged out of foster care. I don't fit that narrative. I've never been to prison. I'm not
Gotcha.
an addict. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fit that narrative. And so I couldn't lean on what happened and what wasn't my fault. The only thing I could do was build on what I could control. So I look at every situation like that. Okay, now what is within my control that I can heal from? So I look at that
Right.
within relationship, like you said, what can I do? What is, like you said from the beginning, what accountability do I have for me? None of that stuff was my fault. I could still be wallowing in my mess, like, oh my gosh, this is happening. I've had bad relationships and life is not fair. But
In other words, you're not a product of your environment and you don't look like what you've been through.
no, not absolutely not. I could tell y'all some horror stories, but I just feel like personally, when I hear people bleed on people, and I'm like I believe in God, but I've lived multiple lives, right? Or been through so much, and God has kept me. And so when I look at this from the relationship aspect, when I meet people, I have a heart for them, but I also, y'all ever hear that meme on social media? Come on, get up. All right. We ain't gonna let you cry. I'm gonna let you cry today, but we're gonna work on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm that person. I'm gonna let you wallow in it a little bit, but then we gonna work on it.
Right. Did had something? I know you had came off mute for a second. I think he was cool.
Yeah. And I'm your modern day Job, y'all. So your modern day Job and Mephibosheth and all of that. So if I'm sitting up here smiling and can articulate and have great conversation and have an awareness about relationships and emotional aspects of life, I don't understand why other people can't.
I think people have to come to terms and be realistic about what they want and what they can handle. Right? A lot of people run around saying, do you know what it's like? And can you handle being married? Or a man will say, you know, I want this wife, I want this wife, I want this wife. But can you handle all that carries? Because you're not only carrying her, you're carrying yourself. And if she's not a person that can help carry that load, then that marriage is going to be clashing all the time. Use discernment when you say what you want.
Right.
I had a discussion with my daughters. Like you said, social media is horrible for our young ladies and what they're presenting. And I literally had to tell her, she said something to me like, Mommy, when you were married, you didn't pay no bills, because that's the narrative that's being put there, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, why would you say it like that? She was like, well, you didn't pay any bills. And I said, oh no, Mommy paid bills, and Mommy showed up in different capacities. And Mommy was also a woman that was okay with being proposed to at the Cheesecake Factory. I also paid for dates sometimes. I said, so I don't understand. She was like, well, really? And I was like, yeah, it was a partnership. And so I think social media is not showing that women are still showing up. Like, this is what I said. I told her, I said, people are lying to you about what they're doing behind closed doors. There's a lot of women doing a lot of different things to keep a man, and will get on this app and lie. I don't do this, I don't do that. And they are paying a man to stay.
Paying a whole man to stay. Moving them into their houses and saying, well, if you're here with me, I know that you ain't going no further. I know that, you know, at least you come home to me every night. But when you walk out that door, he's doing everything under the sun. And so you really don't have the control you think you have, darling.
Right. And so what I told her, I said, because I was a woman, I said, you go to Applebee's? She says, yes. And I said, and social media is telling you not to let a man take you to Applebee's. And I said, but that could be the best date of your life. I said, I've gone to have ramen with people. I said, so don't let social, I said, do you know, social media is not, she's 19. And I'm like, it's not real. These people are living this fictitious life, and it's not real. There's a lot of people that are doing things in relationships that are having multiple partners in their relationship, and they didn't sign up for that. And they're not telling you that.
Ooh.
Public service announcement, lying about your relationship status is considered sexual coercion, and that's against the law. And this is your public service announcement for this evening.
Listen, you'd be surprised when I got in my 30s to find out how many people had open relationships, and it was a secret.
Open with consent or open without consent? Because there's a difference.
Open with consent. There was a lot of people that I met that had open, and I didn't know. I was just so shocked. And there would be times that my husband would pull me aside and be like, oh no, they take women home. And I was like, what? I would have never thought.
Yeah, I can't. They're just changing the dynamics of dating and relationships. You know, multiple partners, quadruple partners, poly this, poly that. But how does poly look? You know what I mean? For me, I'm dating people who are 10 years, into 10 years, right? So I'm dating a person who's 70 years old, 75 years old. And I'm looking at the man today. He may be in his 60s, but I'm going to be living with that man that's in his 70s or his 80s. God spares their life. Are you telling me that we're going to live a polyamorous relationship? We're in our 60s and our 70s? And what if you trade that person out? What if you get tired of them and you want to trade that person out?
Well, no,
how does that look?
No, the whole point that I'm trying to make for that is that it's just not realistic. There's things that people are doing, because it would be the equivalent of what Marlon said when we first came on here. If that's all we're seeing on social media, it would say, you know what, Andy, you should settle, because that's all you're going to get. And the reality
Mm-hmm.
of it is, I don't believe that's all that's out there. You get what I'm saying? So I have to have
Yeah.
enough wherewithal to be like, there are men who just want one woman, and I will wait for that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a scary dynamic for a mature woman to hear what we're headed into, what our young women are headed into. They have to settle for certain things. You know, you have to give up your whole life to a person who's never going to choose you. He wants you to be part of some harem. You're now reduced to being a concubine. You know, so does that mean, are you pimping women? Because there's got to be somebody that's the main chick and everybody else is dispensable. Come on.
But you want the conversation to be, there are good people that want, that respect the union of marriage. I think that's what I was trying to prove to my daughter. Like Marlon said, there are things on social media that's in our algorithm that will make you think that's all that's out there, you know?
Right. Right.
Awesome. Number 5. Patterns don't lie. Now, this is a good one. Patterns don't lie. Same type of person, same type of outcome, same complaints. You're not unlucky. You're consistent.
Don't lie.
No wonder you had that devilish snicker.
Right? Because, it's patterns don't lie. Like the patterns are there. Patterns are there for a reason.
Right.
And when people go, "Oh no, I'm just unlucky," no, you're pretty consistent. You're consistent. You're very consistent because you keep doing the same exact thing, expecting a different result.
That's insanity.
But it's
So,
nothing you can do when it's omission of guilt. So when people omit things, then it does not become your fault.
well, I'm gonna challenge that a little bit, Andy.
Mm.
I'm gonna challenge that just a little bit. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but I'm gonna challenge it. I'm gonna challenge it by saying, yeah, people can hide things, right? But here's the part about you have to ask yourself now, why am I continuously always attracting that type of person? What is this? Do I have this thing on me? Is it something that I'm doing that is always attracting the same type of person that I always end up getting the same type of outcome? That's a part where we have to really ask ourselves, what are we projecting out there that is telling them I can attract this type of person?
Because light attract dark. It don't matter if I don't think that's fair, right? I don't think that's fair because you can still be a good person with great intentions and still attract crap. So the reality of that is, if somebody is coming in with the way that they carry themselves and you don't find out until the end, that is not your fault. And you should not feel any type of way about it, right? But if you knowingly let the first slip of you stay after you discover, then that is your fault. That's how I look at it. But if you come into this and you're lying, listen, I ain't going to check. I ain't doing all this social media. I am not that woman. Let me tell you what. Because I'm gonna have a discussion. I don't believe in cheating. The first time you cheat, it's over, or whatever you call yourself want to do. Those are my hard deal breakers and loving Jesus. So those are my hard lines. And if that is something that you can, I am not the woman for you.
I think there are a lot of women that settle for that, and there are just some men who prey on the fact that there are women like that, and then the ones that aren't like that, they're the challenge. You know what I mean? There's a woman right now that I know. That man cheated with like 4 or 5 different women, and she's like, "Nope, but I got him. We live together. He's mine. Mine, mine, mine. Go, go, go. Down, down, down. Baby, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Because if he step outside the door, he has to be as married behind your back as he is in your face. Don't be married in my face, and then when you walk out this door, you single. You know, but if you say because he lives under your roof and you know he has a propensity to cheat and you feel like you won something, pumpkin, you're going to spend the rest of your day checking social media, running behind the women, looking at his phone. That's too much daggone work, especially at this big age. We
Yeah, I
are
do agree with
we are
that.
grown
I
enough for
ain't doing
three
all that.
people. We are grown enough for three people. If you are over 60 years old, if you 63 years old, you are 21 times three. You are grown enough for three people. You need to put that down, honey, and pick up a new baton because that is exhausting.
If he's
Let's
still
see.
lying
Rachel
about it,
said,
Rachel said, if he's still lying, you leave. You don't have to stay. Okay, fine. You found out. It's on you. Now it's on you on whether you stay or leave. You leave. You
Because
don't
now
stay.
you want that. Now you want the behavior. You've told him that I accept that behavior. Or she has told that woman that's cheating that, he accepts the behavior. So you're gonna keep doing it. It's like if you don't care, I don't care.
Well, not even that. Sometimes people are not. Sometimes I've been in situations because I'm an asshole when it come down to certain things. I'm like, I'm bored. I'm gonna play with this a little bit. So I'm one of those people until I get tired. Then ultimately they end up getting their feelings hurt. But I just feel like you choose to stick around, and sometimes people aren't ready to let go. And I've been in a situation where I'm like, I'm not quite ready yet. I mean, I know what's going on, and not to say I've accepted cheating, but like I'm not quite ready with certain behaviors, and then I disappear, or
Yeah, well,
you eat crust.
Sarah didn't want to let go either, and look what happened to her.
You said
She
who?
turned into a pillar of salt.
No, but I'm just saying. Sometimes I'm a Scorpio all day long. I love God. I promise y'all I do. But I understand there's some ways to myself that I need to die to. Right? I'm a great person and I have great things going on. But I also understand that um I believe in get back until unaliving. I'll wait you
mm-hmm.
out. So, but it depends on who you are. It depends on if I feel like you played in my face, I'll wait you out, and then if I just don't care, I'll move on. But I'm what Denzel say. I'm leaving here with something. I'm gonna get you.
I think sometimes it's culture. If you saw your mom and dad, they weren't together, or dad's got 15 kids and mom and dad have 3 kids together, but dad got 15 kids out there and mama still stayed. You see that as being norm, that men just go out there and do these things. So when you pick up a relationship, is going back to what Marlon said. What is it in you that's making this type of person gravitate to you? If you're used to men doing that, you're going to be okay with a man doing that to you because that was your norm growing up. My mother was the original Medea. If my daddy had any outside children, he took that to the grave because I know my mama would have sent him to meet his maker. And I know it. That's just who my mama was. She ain't play that.
I just
Okay.
don't think it's nothing you can do when people are liars. When you find out, then you can move on. But sometimes, as a woman, you may have been invested or you may have caught feelings, and it takes some time to sever those ties. But for me, I literally have had to tell a person, I was like, "Look, I'm trying to I'm trying to spare you. I'm a really good person." I said, and just as much as I am a good person, there's a side of me that you don't want to see. And he was like, well, I couldn't see you being a certain type of way. And I was like, sir, listen, I, I was supply in the military. I can build weapons. I can take them apart and reconstruct them to fit left hand dominant. I am not somebody that you want to deal with. I said, I walk away so I don't go to jail. But um I don't play with people. Like when I find out who you are, that's why I have to let you go. Cause yeah, I have to let you go because I'm not safe.
I hear that. So and again, it goes all the way back to why I say patterns don't lie. Everything that was just said goes back to why patterns don't lie, and it's not just others' patterns. It's our own patterns. Our own patterns are what gets us into situations. Sunshine, You missed everything, Sunshine.
Oh Lord.
You missed everything. I'm just messing
But
with you.
Marlon, that's not fair because if you start out,
That
I've been
ain't
out
fair,
on.
Andy.
No, let me tell you why that is not a fair statement because I've been out on a date and the first thing or met somebody and the first thing they say is that I'm divorced, right? And then the next conversation, I'm in the middle of the divorce. I'm out. I'm not sticking around to try to figure it out. You get what I'm saying? So it be
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So what do? There's nothing you can do when somebody is a liar. Once you hear the first lie and you connect the dots, that's on you to move. It has nothing to do with me. Like I didn't do anything. I just moved. It was electric. So I slid.
Ooh, not slid. I do the cha cha out of the town.
Listen,
Bye, cha cha sliding out.
it's
I
electric
mean,
and I'm a slide.
so I'm saying it like this, right? Before getting married, I had to recognize that there is a side of it was something in me. Now, did I ever truly figure out it 100%? No. But it was something in me where I was attracting certain women.
Hmm.
It was something inside of me that where I will attract certain women. And it will be like I will attract a woman that would and I mean it never failed. Never failed. And nothing against women, right?
Hmm.
But I will always attract a needy ass woman. And I'll just be like, what am I? I'm not showing like I'm not out here flashy. I'm not out here this. I'm very conservative. I'm frugal. I'm not even throwing this off, but then I go, what is it about me that every time I ended up dealing with a woman, I'm always connecting somebody. Well, I need this.
Oh God.
I need that. I'm a little short on this. And I had to really sit here and do my own self-evaluation. Marlon, what is it about you that is just oozing off of you that women see, right? And it wasn't necessarily what was oozing off of me. It was where I was meeting people at.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? I kept getting the same type of woman from where I was going. So until I said, let me change up my environment because clearly I don't need to be these environment because these folks in here needy. So when I changed the environment, I started to get a whole different type of atmosphere of women, that was put together, that was like, hey, let me buy you a drink. Hey, let me do this. Hey, it was a balance at that point. And I realized that the environment, it wasn't necessarily so much me. I was comfortable, again, being how I was raised, where I'm from, or whatnot. I was comfortable being in certain settings. And until I got to a point where I start putting myself in a different setting that I knew I would be uncomfortable in to change, then that's when the change happened. You get what I'm saying? I had to put myself in a completely different environment that I wasn't comfortable in to understand that I was uncomfortable in this other one because I kept getting the same results. Because I had this own internal fear of, well, if I go over there, I don't belong in that circle. Yeah, I do, because I want something different.
But okay, for me, um, it don't even have to be that. I have never like I would love to attract something different, and they always tend to be not to say the same, but like it's around the same time. It's that Virgo Scorpio situation. And I don't want to attract them at all. And I despise that I do attract them. I don't even have to be in face to face. It could be somebody thought that I was attractive, and the first thing I say, I'll be like, when is their birthday? Like that's where I'm at now. Now when people say they like me, I'm like, when your birthday? Or what you like about me? And when it's always the Virgo Scorpio, I'll be like, I decline. I decline. It's always I get hit on so much by Virgos, Scorpios all the time. and I'm a Scorpio, and so it's horrible.
I know there's something wrong with me because every man I've ever attracted has been in the military. And it always winds up in that conversation. They will say, "Oh, I served." And I'm like, "Oh, damn. Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I served." And it's never been in the forefront. Never been in the forefront of the conversation. But when we start to talk and stuff like that, all of a sudden it'll come out that they have served in the military. Every man I have ever met
But
and gotten
imagine,
involved.
but imagine men that you've never even talked to, and it'd be like, oh, so and so rich wanted to get to know you.
All right, busy.
It'd be like, oh, so and so wanted to get to know you, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm instantly like, when is your birthday? When is I don't ask them, I ask the friend or whoever. Like it'll be people I've never met. I could not be, and I don't go out anymore. It's just certain things I don't do. And I promise you, I meet them all the time. And I'll be like, I can't win for losing. I don't know. Like you said, what is on me that is
Hmm.
attracting, that type of person, and I don't want to. So now I just kind of stay to myself because baby, I don't have it in me to deal
It's
with.
one of them things that you got to kind of just you have to figure out what it is. Just even me sitting here listening, right, to both of you guys, and I'm hearing you talking about the military part. I hear you're talking about the zodiac signs. You know, maybe there might be a thing of the focus on. I wonder. I wonder what sign. I wonder what sign. I wonder what sign. Or the military is, this person has a nice uniform, or this person walks a certain way. People in the military, we walk a certain way. We have a walk about ourselves where most people can tell if you were military or law enforcement. I get it all the time.
But this is before I even meet them. I don't even get to see the walk. I don't even get to see the mannerisms. It's in the talking stages. It's like, really? Oh
Did
my
you tell I
God.
was military?
Say that again?
Huh?
Did you tell I was military before I mentioned it?
No, I'm talking about men, honey.
And
Baby, I
I'm just
couldn't.
saying, like, because you said there's a mannerism. I just wanted to know if there was.
I
Well,
mean, the way
you're
that you
very
talk,
focused. You're laser focused and
yeah,
you're driven.
yeah,
So yeah, I could, yeah.
it was clear. Even in your profile picture, it looks like a military picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. But listen, I have that problem too because my first husband was military and my second one was too. But I didn't choose them. I actually met them at the club and I was out just happened to be married. I mean, get married, like develop a relationship. But I
Yeah.
wasn't. I wasn't searching for no military man. I wasn't even near no base.
I've never searched for a military man, but it's just weird that I spoke to one gentleman. I was talking to him for a couple of weeks, and then he just kept saying, he said something that alluded that he served in the military. And I
Hmm.
finally asked, I said, "Did you serve?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was a SEAL." I was like, "Oh God, no." And that's coming off of somebody who's a Marine. I'm like, "Oh God, no." And then I met
Yeah.
the last mountain that I had to climb, that was Air Force, and the one before that I met a couple of years ago, he was Navy. I said, "You know something, Lord? Are you trying to tell me something?"
Listen, I will only date another military man unless he's retired. Like he's on that second shift of life. I don't want to date nobody that's transitioning out or nothing like that.
Hmm.
'Cause they be trying to. They have to
Bree
figure out
said, "I don't ever meet the same man."
why free. And I don't focus on the Scorpio. I promise y'all, it's so bad. It's so bad. I could be out and I'd be like, well, why do you? Why? Now I just ask, like, because I won't date them. I won't even give them my phone number. Why do you like me? What
Mm,
about me made you decide to deal with me? It's so bad.
yeah. Number 6, accountability on both sides. Keep it balanced. So you got to keep it balanced so nobody feels attacked, right? Um, when they said, men need to lead better, communicate better, be emotionally present. Women need to heal properly, stop testing everything and communicate needs clearly, right? Accountability on both sides. This thing is not a men versus women. This is maturity versus immaturity. That's the simple answer to this. It's maturity and immaturity. So if we approach things with maturity and stop being immature about certain things, because we all have, even at this big age, have been immature about things. You know, throw a little tantrum. We gotta be mature. I got that.
Because if you don't start it, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I mean, sometimes you gotta pop out and show people. You got to pop out.
You gotta pop out and show folks.
You got to pop out and show them I'm not the one of the two. I promise you. Like, because I'm so sweet. People be thinking they can get over it. I be like, I ain't safe. Like, let me tell you what. I'm not safe. Don't do that. Find you something safe to do. I'm not safe.
No doubt.
Like, I choose to be safe. I can choose to be. But I can also choose to not be safe.
Do you think it's because of our height? Sometimes they be trying us because of our height.
Listen.
Are you suffering from Napoleons?
Nah, because it's like, you know, I tell people I'm 175 pounds of pure pressure. Don't come for this if you ain't ready for it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to your family, because there's going to be some slow walking and black dresses wearing.
So I can say 5'4", 175. What's up?
Exactly.
Mighty.
What we doing and where we going with this? Come on.
People are funny.
Yeah. Number 7. Here's the last part.
Okay.
Right? This is how you actually fix yourself. Because we've been sitting here talking about this whole thing about, you know, blaming the other gender instead of just fixing yourself. Fixing yourself is this. 5 things. Self-reflection. Journal. Therapy. Prayer. That's all self-reflection. Number 2. Identify your patterns. I think that's probably one of those things that we rarely ever talk about. Identify your own patterns. Number 3, heal before dating again. Heal before dating again. Number 4, learn communication skills. And here's number 5, the biggest one out of them all. Take accountability without defensiveness. That's the biggest one. I think we all get defensive because we all think we're doing everything right.
I am perfect. I started off with saying that. I started off with saying I am perfect.
Right. You know, don't get defensive about taking accountability for stuff. Like, I am a work in progress every day of the week, 365, 24/7. Or like Mary J said, 25/8. Come on. Work in progress. I think we are constantly a work in progress.
Growing, evolving.
Yeah. We got to stop pointing fingers. We got to stop pointing fingers at everybody else for things that we need to do work about, because the relationship and everything that we want, that's going to require the you that you might not be just yet.
Reflection instead of deflection.
There it is.
Yeah, we all are in different seasons of life, and sometimes people are not in the same season as you are. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means, they're in a different place.
I'm sorry. That damn Free.
What did Free say? What she say? What baby
She
girl say?
ain't had to say anything. She pointing in every damn direction.
She's so cute.
she over there. I can't.
Oh, I love her like cook food.
Man, let me tell you. What's harder? I got one question. What's harder? Is it harder to heal or to blame?
To heal.
Heal.
Okay.
Heal.
And we all on the same page then. You know. Beachy World, what's good? What's good?
Y'all coming to class late?
Oh, late.
The heck?
It's all good. What's one thing, and I guess this he said my did I? For you guys, because I mean you guys are single, right? Thinking about yourself. What do you think is one thing that you need to fix before your next relationship? Chocolate, don't you start eating.
How come you always picking on me?
Because I already knew what you're going to say. I ain't getting in no relationship. I'm going to let you have that tonight.
Thank you, Brother Bear. Appreciate you. I'm excused. Excuse me.
And do you think it's anything right now that you feel like you need to fix before your next relationship? In the chat. In the chat as well.
Probably dialing it back a bit, better boundaries. Dialing it back. Like I would like to go away. Like, I would like to kind of just be a little bit more off the beaten path a bit. But dialing it back, better boundaries, and not feeling like I need to, like I'm learning to, I don't know, just sit still before I act a little bit more. So I'm sitting still. And just I feel like having better boundaries. Yeah, just having better boundaries.
Okay. Beachy World said the same thing. Just setting better boundaries,
Better boundaries.
Free, don't give me the eyeballs, Free. What say you?
Better boundaries.
Yeah. I think that's probably at this big age of ours that's probably one of the biggest things that we have to do. Even in relationships that we are in, relationships and marriages, we still have to set certain boundaries because we are constantly, like we said earlier, we're still evolving and growing,
But I think when people don't come with the full, and I hate to say it, the full package of what you want, you don't have to stay there. And I'm not meaning shallow things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean from the character aspect and being whole. There's some things that you can't do. Like I had a friend tell me that like I met a guy and he's my good guy best friend. He was just like, you can't be that man's first good woman. He ain't gonna know how to treat you. And I was like, is that true? Because I'm like, I've heard that before. And when he said it, I was like, man, I got the exit stage left. He was like, that man ain't gonna. He was like, you can't be that man's first good woman. He ain't gonna know what to do with you. So I mean,
yeah, that's weird.
I'm just saying, like, some men don't know how to take a good woman. That's the issue. Like, when they kind of present signs of not knowing a good woman, because they used to trash, you should exit stage left because they gonna fumble the bag.
If you say exit stage left one more time, and I'm gonna sit there and say heavens to Murgatroyd, because that's where it came from.
Listen, listen. I move quicker than Mexican music. You hear me?
Ooh, not merengue. She said, I'm out of here like bachata.
Let's see. Free said every time Beachy World said it's not that they don't know how, it's just they don't want to. That's right.
Mm.
No, here's the thing. I'm not saying they don't know how. I'm just saying they don't know. Some people have a sheltered life. So I would say a lot of people, they're so used to being in their own way that they will mess up at life. I've met some people that just messed up life just because they didn't know no better. So I'm not saying that they can't. I believe what he said is true, but I will say some people don't know. They just in their own way, and that's something I pray about. More of you, God, and less of me. Remove me from out of my way. Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna be single.
In my solitude.
I mean, I'm not taking it off the table, but I just, I don't have time for foolishness. I don't have the time anyway, especially with being in school and stuff like that. But when people, mm,
Yeah, folks play too many games, and it pushes you off your focus. You know, if your focus is to achieve your goals, achieve your goals. You know what I mean? Men were here before we were born. Men are here after we are buried.
I mean, I could still achieve with a man. That's not. I don't think he gonna ever take me off my rocker. I just feel like sometimes people are. They just
The
people
wrong
are.
one will, but the wrong one will.
Yeah, people are weird, and they are weird. And listen,
Take your time. The person that's intended for you is going to find you. You don't even have to look for them. They're
I know
going
it's
to
so
find
sad. I
you.
didn't have to give up my listen. I didn't cut the whole roster off. I don't even have a roster. That's how I know I want to change. I don't even have a roster anymore. It is lights out.
And that's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not sad about it at all. I don't even have a roster. Not that I had a full roster, but like when you're bored, you're just like, oh, let's go out to dinner. Let's do something. Let's hang out. I don't even have that no more. I'm just in the house being nappy.
Funny. That's what I'm talking about. Happy being nappy.
I'm just in the house, staying out the way. I want to go to some of these concerts since they know we can't travel. They're gonna take all our money. So,
Which concerts do you want to go to? Because Floetry's back out there in them streets.
oh, I would love to see them.
Floetry is back out. Go try to see Floetry.
I want to go
October,
to.
London has got a concert. He's doing touring now.
Now,
I'm
that's
big with
my dude.
I'm big with Gregory Porter. He's touring.
Yeah.
Sade's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she's touring. There's a lot of concerts out here, y'all.
Just because they know we can't travel. I want to go see Jay-Z at the Roots Picnic. I would like to see Jeezy in Vegas. I want to see Usher and Chris Brown because I've never seen them. I would like to see Floetry, Jill Scott in October, London, and Bruno Mars. So
Bruno Mars puts on a good concert.
yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see them all, but I would love to.
What is it? Usher and Chris Brown are performing together?
Yeah, they're going on tour. Trying to
That's
make our
gonna be-
money.
Jay-Z's gonna be in New York, so I could just take the train into the city, which is a good thing.
He's gonna be in New York, but those tickets, this is what I don't like. The resale stuff that people be doing, they buy all those tickets up and then they sell them for like an arm and a leg. So I'm gonna go to the Roots Picnic because he's headlining a Roots Picnic in May, with Erykah Badu. So I'm gonna go see him.
We have the Do the Right Thing block party coming up in New York. You know, it's in the block where the movie Do the Right Thing was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the block party every year. It is a big blast. It's the best thing coming. I look so forward to that.
Let me know the dates of it. I might pick up a trip to just have a hotel room to come up there.
It's a lot of stuff getting ready to happen in New York. We've got the International Food Festival coming up in 2 weeks. They shut down the entire West Side near Hell's Kitchen. And my God, when I tell you food for days, every restaurant, every cuisine, they are out there, and it's just great. It's music and it's dancing, and it's just wonderful.
Listen, don't you be talking about food. I'm trying to lose weight over here.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
all
I
right.
I
Your
apologize for the
food.
inconvenience. I'm sorry.
Well, I ain't gonna. Hey, well, I ain't gonna show you the picture I just showed chocolate earlier,
Uh,
but
I'm
anyway.
trying to lose
Hey,
weight.
Beachy World said just released a few songs on this on all platforms. Beautiful R&B and trap soul music.
Who did Jill Scott?
No, Beachy World.
Oh, Beachy World.
Yeah. So that's your cue to go and check it all out on all platforms. What's the name of the song? Well, we just put in your name, I
Yeah.
guess. How do we
Oh,
find it?
Brian Culberson is out there too. He's touring too.
Not.
Okay.
So I love my jazz. Give me my jazz any day. And then you got this, and then you have some concerts coming up. I know across the country they have house gospel. I don't know if
Mhm.
anybody, but honey, I cut a rug me some house gospel now, y'all. Come on now, shake a leg. I may not be able to get back up, but I'm gonna shake a leg.
I can't.
No, I
Well, look.
haven't done anything, but I was trying to look at those concerts. I'm not going anywhere this year. I did play. I don't know. I wasn't on here, but because I was in Orlando last week. But
What city are you in, Andy?
I'm in Georgia. I'm in Gwinnett County.
God, I remember Gwinnett County. House in the Park is
Gwinnett.
coming up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna look it up.
House in the Park is coming up in Atlanta. It's in Piedmont.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. No, but I did announce that I'm going to try to I will be 45 10/27 of 2027. So I'm going to put together a trip to go to Ghana in December to do Dirty December.
You know, didn't we discuss that before, right?
You know
'Cause
something? I
I'm
can't with
going.
y'all.
I'm doing Ghana in January.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
done. Trigger
Yeah, I'm doing
alert.
Ghana in
No, I'm doing
January.
next in 2027 I'm doing it. So
Trigger alert.
Oh, okay. The end of 20. Oh, see, I'm going in January of 2027.
okay.
Marlon, you're a spiritual man and you're a religious man, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you know God sends us signs, right?
Yeah.
What?
He always sends us signs. And it could be the smallest of signs, could be the biggest of signs, but it's always a sign. There was something that you said earlier that reminded
Mhm.
me of something that another person said. And now both of you talking about going to Ghana. This person just got back from Ghana.
Oh wow.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm getting off this phone. I'm going to take me a melatonin and go to sleep. Y'all, good night.
Look, look. You know me. I look. When I travel, I travel. It was like because that's gonna be the 5-0. That's gonna be the 5-0.
Okay, okay.
And I was like, my wife kept saying, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" Because at first it was the first thing we were gonna do, and I have been talking about it for years, was we was gonna go to China. Yeah, we ain't going to China.
Let me know when you want to go to Japan.
Japan, yeah, we've been there. We can do that again.
Where did y'all go?
You said when?
Where?
Man, from Okinawa to Singapore, all over,
Oh wow.
all over.
Well, let me know. I'll call my daughters and let them put you up in Kyoto.
Okay. Yeah. You know, when our kids had went in 23, my son and his girlfriend went. That was what they wanted to do for their birthday. So they went. And they was in Kyoto. They stayed at there's like a little house that they stayed in and stuff. They went all over the place. They had a time of their life.
It's stunning. It's just breath. You could tell there are so many places in this world you could tell God put his hands on it. Because it is so breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
And only God could create those scenes. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and with that being said, good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
Chocolate. I'm gonna drop you down, and then Andy,
Thank
I'll
you.
drop you down.
All right, cool.
Pew. Hey, appreciate y'all. Y'all have yourself a good night tonight.
All right. Good night.
Hey, good night, everybody. Beat Your World. I'll check it out. We'll be back next week, guys. See y'all next Wednesday and Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. Central, 100 podcast. Everybody down in the chat that was participating in there, dropping out a couple things here and there. We definitely appreciate you guys. Until then, have a blessed weekend. See you guys. Peace.